Good. Bringing that right hand back, I want you to pick your hips up, and it doesn't need to be in any particular direction, but just allowing yourself to push that weight into the floor and feeling your kind of lift out of your knees. Good. All the way down. Okay, we're going to switch sides. Different side, different body, right? So we're going to just settle in here, allowing gravity to take the sitting bones down, kind of figuring out where we are in space. And then find your center. We're going to lift that back knee up. Here we go. Good. And then front knee stays, and we lift the back foot. It's always fun.
It's really hard.
It's really hard. I learned this in a workshop I took like 5 years ago about active aging, and she was like, "You should do this every day for healthy hips." And I was like, "Ugh." So now I try to work it in. All right, we're gonna glide to the hip, or to the elbow. Feel that reach. You're gonna sink your opposite sitting bone down. Let your breath fill your rib cage. Feel free to adjust yourself. Again, we have lots of muscles wrapping around the ribs that are really important for breath and also keeping your nervous system regulated all the way up through middle. If we have really tight muscles around the ribs, it's very hard to take a deep breath. If it's very hard to take a deep breath, it's very hard to induce the parasympathetic nervous system, and so on and so forth. Breathe into the ribs. Through your center. Take your counter. And then third and final. Take your counter. And then take your forward fold into any direction. Breathing deeply into the back body. And then plant your left hand down, or the one that's been going down. And we're going to press the hips up and just allow yourself to feel that opening all the way down to your knee. A little initial engagement of the obliques. And then down. Flip the body around. We're going to roll all the way down. And then your feet are flat, your knees are bent. We're going to just take a swish. It's a nice way to just kind of cleanse the nervous system by just rocking the body. And then bringing yourself back to center, you're going to plant your heels right in line with sitting bones. We're going to take our pelvic tilt. Okay, so you're going to tip your tailbone to the ceiling. And as you do that, it's going to press your sacrum into the mat. Your sacrum being that flat, wide part at the bottom of your spine. And then release. So it's not quite a bridge yet. It's really just like a clench of the glutes, a tip up of the tail, and release. Good, and tuck. And release, good. And tuck. And release. Nice. Hopefully you're feeling, the idea here is that in addition to just kind of waking up the relationship between your pelvis and your thighs, I want you to feel a little bit of like a massage on the very base of your spine. We tend to just kind of neglect this part of the body. And then the next time that you tuck, we're going to peel all the way up into a bridge. You're going to tuck your tail, and then bone by bone, it's like you're peeling a sticker off little by little. And it doesn't need to be high in the first one. We're just exploring what the body has to offer today. Dig the heels in, reach the knees over the toes and then massage your spine down. 1, 2, 3, 4. And all the way to the tail. Tip your tailbone away. And so that might make space between your low back. It might. And the mat, it might not. And then you're going to do pelvic tilt, pressing the sacrum, lifting the pubic bone, and then away we go up into our bridge bone by bone, pressing the feet down, all 10 toes, reaching the knees. Take a breath in at the top and massage down. 2, 3, 4. Good. We're going to do that one more time. Waking up the spine, drawing the belly button in. So it's like a little core sandwich, front and back, both working. Maybe you try to get your hips a little higher this time. Try to dig your heels a little bit more. And then holding it here, you're going to float your fingertips up to the ceiling. We're going to open up to a T with the arms and bring them back without dropping the hips. Maybe think about pressing your shoulder blades down a little bit more, like you're kind of standing on your shoulder blades, like a little staple. Yep, the hips are lifting, the glutes are firing, the heels are dragging, and we're opening and closing the arms. So we've taken the arms out of the equation here in terms of supporting your bridge. We're still breathing. Last one. Roll yourself down through your spine and then drop off your arms. We're going to pick up one knee and then the second knee. You're going to square your hips off into the floor, dip one foot into the imaginary pool of water, use your exhale, bring it back, and then the other one down and bring it back, and down and bring it back, and down. Good. Use the exhale, bring it back, square the chest off. If you feel like adding to this, you always have the option of making a basket with your hands behind your head and curling up. That will level up your core here. Or you can keep your head rested down on the mat or on sponges or a pillow. One more each side. Good. I want you to pull one knee into your chest and extend the other leg. You have the option to keep your head down, pick it up, or wrap your hands around the back. And you're going to switch. We're going to work our ab series into the whole thing. So we're starting with single leg stretch. So it should be as much of a pull in as it is a reach. You want to feel that opposition of stretching the back on one side, reaching the leg on the other. Nice long breath. You're going to take one on each side. And then grab both knees in and just allow yourself to pull, like kind of press down on your shins. And hopefully you'll feel a stretch in that low back. Is everyone feeling that? Yeah? Okay, good. Okay, and then I want you to rock your whole body towards me. So you're going to end up on your side. We're going to do a little chest opener here. So your knees stay bent. You're going to do like crocodile arms. And it's going to feel funny at first, but you're going to move in a second. So feel your hand up. This is, I think of this Bridgerton every time because I imagine I'm putting on this like really fancy long ball glove. And then you're going to open and go into a T. And so you're looking over your shoulder. You're dreaming about the possibility of having both shoulder blades touch the floor. I don't know about you, but that is not a thing my body is doing. Bring the arm all the way back. So we'll do 3. I think 3 is kind of a magic number. So we'll use your inhale, bring it in. Exhale allows you to open. If you find that your knees are starting to come off the floor, really try to make them heavy. You could even use that other arm to like press them down. So we want to make sure we're not letting ourselves get out of the stretch. And then bring it back. And then on 3, we're going to hang there for a couple breaths. So we pull it in. We exhale, open. And then we hang. I need a little accountability on my knee, so I'm going to take that hand, looking over the shoulder. Nice long breath. Try to sink into the floor. And then before you go anywhere else, I want you to take both hands, find the back of your skull. Your knees are going to stay bent. We're going to do this little tiny oblique contraction here. So you're going to curl up and look over the top of your hip and then down. So it's like a little crunch into your obliques. 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 more. Blow it out as you come up. Good, hold it here. Little pulses at the top. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest down. Okay. Now you're going to come back into your side just because it's more comfortable to be on the side. And then go ahead and push yourself around. Okay, back to your crocodile arms. You're going to use your inhale to glide up the arm. Take a big breath in. Use your exhale and open, looking over the shoulder. And then it's your warm-up one, so then bring it back. Take an inhale. With your exhale, open all the way. Let your shoulders fall to the floor. Bring it all the way back. And then last, we're going to hang it out in here a little bit. Bring the inhale. Exhale, open to your T. Your goal is to imagine finding both shoulder blades on the mat. Again, if you, like me, need a little bit of help keeping the knees heavy, you can add that other hand on top. And we're going to breathe into this deep stretch, this nice spiral line stretch of the fascia. That's my tummy that's making all that nice sound. I was trying to figure it out. It's a good sign, actually. It means the parasympathetic nervous kicking in. Yeah, because it's your digestion gets kind of halted when your sympathetic nervous system is kicked in. Parasympathetic is rest and digest. Sympathetic is fight or flight. That's why, like, when you get a massage, you ever notice you get a massage and all of a sudden your tummy starts grumbling like crazy because you're like relaxing. Okay, get ready for it. Hands behind the head. We've got our little oblique crunch here. Use your exhale, curl up, look over the hip, and down. Exhale, curl up, look over the hip, and down. We got some hungry people in the room. 3 more. Curl up and you're going to hold. We've got 6 little pulses. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then release down. You're going to come back to your nice little fetal position here for a second. And try not to now. And then push yourself all the way up. We're going to go into a forearm, all fours. And the reason I want you on forearms is because I want you to rest your head down because I don't want your neck to be tired. So we're going to just let the upper body relax. We're going to bring the right knee up towards the ceiling. We're going to do some hip circles, heel up. Open your knee to the outside and then pull that knee as close to your elbow as you can. And that's probably going to like make your torso change shape, and that's okay. Bring the knee down. And then again, up. Now, of course, at any point, if your knee is bugging you, you want to take a sponge, you want to roll your mat up, you want to get a towel, whatever you need. Always about you and your body, so figure out what is comfy. And we're just trying to find the biggest circle we can make here. It doesn't need to look any kind of sort of way. And then get ready to change direction. So this time, your knee goes to your nose and then out to the outside and wraps around to the back. And then straight nose to the knee and then to the side, all the way around your knee shapes back. And we've got 4 more. Last one. Good. Put that knee down and we switch. Other knee straight up. Turn it out to the outside. Pull it to your elbow as much as you can and then drop it down. And we go right up. You're just trying to make a big circle, exploring what your range is here in that hip joint, where you feel kind of sticky or resistant. 2 more. And then we're going to change directions. So now your knee comes down to your nose. You open to the outside, rotate around. Your hip comes flat again, and then we go down again. Using your breath as you need. 2 more. Last one. Good. And while we're here, go ahead and separate the knees. Press yourself back into a child's pose. You can make it a moving child's pose that slides side to side, or you can hang out. Whatever you feel you need. Let your tail just kind of be heavy between your knees and feet. And then we'll spin the body around for half roll back. So grab onto your thighs, knees are bent, feet are flat. You can have really close legs or hip width. That's just my preference, so feel free to go with either. You're going to tuck your tail, roll until your arms come straight, and then come all the way up. Believe it or not, I'm feeling very warm. I think it's like 95% humidity. Good. Try to keep the shoulders out of the ears and just let the tail do the moving. Tail does the moving. Yes. Yep. And then just float right back up. Now, if the hips start to be kind of cranky, you can just kind of flop your knees out. Good. Good. Starting with that tip of the pubic bone, just like we did in the very beginning of class with our pelvic tilt. This is your last one to prep here. And then we're going to go into a full roll down. Again, one of the more challenging moves. We're going to reach the arms, sit up tall, take a breath in. Your pubic bone moves first again, so I'm trying to roll into my feet without doing anything with the rest of my body until I have to. So I'm going sacrum, 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 low back, middle back. Whew. Okay, then the fun part is coming up. So bring your arms to your ears. Your inhale curls up, and you look over the horizon. You want to already start reaching your fingertips towards your toes before you go anywhere. And if you want to take a little bent knee with your heels, that's totally fine. All the way up. And then we reach and stretch. This is like the hardest thing in the repertoire, in my opinion. Sit up tall, take a breath in. And we're going to focus on meeting out the air as we go down, bone by bone. And you're just going to go with your breath. It doesn't have to be any particular rhythm. Inhale prepares. Feel free to dig the heels in and bend the knees. Start to really reach with those hands. And then your third breath brings you to stretch. So keep going with your breath, your body's rhythm. Any assisted props or anything that you need. And then this last one, you're going to roll down and you're going to stay there because we're going to go into hip circles. So you're just going to allow yourself to go bone by bone all the way to the mat. And then pull your right knee in towards you. And we're going to do our passive circling here. So we did active circling of the hip while we were on our hands and knees. Now we're passively doing it, which means we're using our arms to move the hip or the thigh and the hip joint. Take the opposite arm and grab onto the outside of the thigh so you can corkscrew across your body, look over the shoulder. Idea here is to get that stretch across your hip or the outside of your tush. So if you need to pull the knee in more or kind of adjust the angle to get more stretch, just do that. Remembering to take a nice full breath. Rock back to your center here. Straighten that leg to the ceiling and you can grab onto the back of the thigh, the knee, the calf, whatever feels available. You can also use a towel or a stretchy band. And we're going to flex and point at the ankle here. Try and keep the hips really released and heavy. Sometimes we get in this position and we kind of clench from below. Try to release that. And then let's take a nice big circle with the ankle, especially for all my concrete jungle dwellers. Lots of asphalt in our lives. Circle the other way. Okay, we're ready now for our circles. So you're gonna plant your hands down, keep your shoulders really wide, and then really anchor that supporting leg down actively. If that means keeping a bent knee or just pushing down with a straight leg, that's fine. We're gonna go across the body, down, and draw like an oval shape back up to your 12 o'clock. It does not need to be a perfectly straight leg. The Rockette auditions are another time, not right now. So I care more about where your hips are in space. I want them nice and even. How much control do you feel over this leg? Can you move that leg while keeping the trunk stable? That's kind of the goal of most of the movements in Pilates here. And then we're going to change directions. Anchoring through the shoulders wide. Use that exhale to come up to 12. Good. Get to the top. Grab on again. Give yourself another nice stretch. And then reach that leg away. Fingertips and toes, just allow yourself to be super long. You probably feel like one side of your body is like a little longer than the other now. And that's okay. We're going to even out the other side. So here we go. Grab the left thigh and we circle. Passively letting that leg be heavy and just move it with your arm strength. Then change directions. Okay, we're going to take opposite hand, reach across the body, grab onto the outer thigh, and twist, looking over the shoulder. Adjust the angle as you need to make this a more meaningful stretch. And then rock back to center. Straighten your leg to the ceiling. Grab on anywhere that feels good, and you're going to flex and point your foot. Let's give it a circle. Try to make that circle as big as you can. Really open up the ankle joint. Change directions. Okay. I think we're ready to go. We're going to press our arms wide or shoulders wide. Really anchor the supporting leg. We go across, down and up. 1. Use that exhale. 2. Remembering to saddle your hips down like they're full of lead, really heavy. Keeping that supporting leg heavy. Here we go. Change directions. Down and exhale up. Try to kind of sweep over the top of the opposite kneecap. A little bit of across the center. Yep. All the way up. 1. You're going to pull that leg towards you. And then you're going to reach the opposite leg so much that it hovers off the ground. That's right, folks. Single straight leg stretch, number 2 in the ab series. We're going to switch legs. Feel free to grab anywhere that feels good. You also have the option to keep your head down. You also have the option to hold the head instead of the leg. You also have the option to pump the leg towards you. Some people like to give it a little pulse. Any of those things are wonderful. Just keep your hips really still so your paddleboard doesn't tip over. Nice long breath. One more each side. And then take your recovery pose. You can pull your knees in. Plant the feet wide. You can do your windshield wiper knees. And then we're going to go right into my personal favorite, the figure 4 bridge. So you're going to put your feet right in line with your sitting bones. Right ankle over top of left thigh. Shoulders wide. It's not going to be a big bridge. You're just going to push your hips off the mat. Maybe it's a few inches. And release. Push. And release. And maybe allow this to be a chance to give your hip a little extra. Stretch and love. Push and lift. Four more. Good, and down. Plant that foot. We're going to go the other side, right into it. Ankle on top of the knee. Here we go. Push up, squeeze. And we tap down and lift. Nice. See if you can keep rotating that knee away from you for a stretch. We've got 3 more. Good. Plant both feet, heels in line with toes in line with hips. Press straight up now and see if your bridge feels a little more open. We're going to hold that bridge up. We're going to rotate the hip bones around the thigh bones. So just like a little steering wheel, twist towards the posters, twist towards the suns. Yep, so you're rotating to one side of the room and then the other. Good. Try your darndest to keep your shin bones facing forward. Your body's going to want to move your legs, but we're trying to actually keep the legs still and shift the pelvic socket around the thigh. Good. Yes, much better. Square yourself off to the middle, shoulders are wide. We're just gonna pulse to the ceiling. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Don't get too comfortable because we are gonna add a little something here. You're gonna lift both heels off the ground. So now you're on your toes. We're gonna push up again. Pulse, draw your belly button in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll all the way down through your back. Pull your knees in towards your chest. And then look through the little space that you made between your knees. Your knees can be as wide as you like. Double leg stretch, guys. Here we go. You're going to inhale, reach those legs away, breathe in. Exhale, pull them close. Inhale, reach them away. Exhale, pull them close. Any of the arm work that you like, you're welcome to do here. The classic take off your top hat kind of thing you can do. You can also just hold your hands behind your head and pull the knees in. Three more. Last one. Okay, grabbing on. We're going to roll right up to seated, making room for the sitting bones to be nice and heavy against the mat. We're going to sit up tall for a spine stretch. This is where if you feel it's difficult to sit up tall in your sitting bones and you're kind of tipping back, you would grab a cushion or a yoga block to sit up on. We're going to reach those arms up. It's as if you're like in a marionette thing here and they've got you by the wrist. So you're just lengthening up out of your sitting bones. Big breath in. Push down against the marionette strings, but stay tall. Yep, and again, lift. This is our prep to keep our spine really active, meaning all the core muscles around the spine, lifting you up out of your seat so we don't collapse forward into our spine stretch. Third prep here, inhale. Against the strings, we push, but we get taller. And then finally, we lengthen up. We lift up out of the seat. Core is super engaged, up and over like a wave crashing on the shore. We reach into our spine stretch, pulling the tummy muscles back. And lift up. Inhale. We make a big arc up and over. And back. Some people like to say rounding up over a beach ball. If that visual is helpful to you, use that. Last one in our front spine stretch here. And then put the hand down in the direction of the posters. We're going to do spine stretch side. Opposite arm goes up. Energy through the fingertips. Inhale. And then use your exhale to lean into a stretch. Take it on a diagonal. Side body stretch. Through the middle. Here we go. Inhale. Exhale, stretch. Other way. Inhale. Exhale, stretch. Good. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, stretch. We take the legs a little wider than the mat for saw. We start with a big T arm. Again, sitting up really tall. Let's twist towards the suns first. We're going to go 3, 2, 1. To center, really tall in the marionette strings. 3, 2, 1. You can stay here or take a dive towards your pinky toe. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. All the way up. Inhale. To the posters. 3, 2, 1. Good. One more each side. Here we go. Lengthen up. Marionette strings. Dive. And up. And dive. Really nice. Swing the legs around. You're going to lie on your side with your feet towards the door and rest on your arm. You can do bent or straight, or you can grab a cushion or something if you like. Take your top leg and you're going to push into your hip joint so that it feels really nice and long. Okay? Keeping that reaching feeling, you're going to lift and lower that leg. Everything else in your torso is super still. Drag it back 45 degrees. Rotate the knee and the toes down. We lift and lower here. Doesn't need to be a big movement. That internal rotation is important, as is keeping that hip open. We come forward 45 degrees. Same thing, internal rotation of the knee and the toe, but you want to sit your booty back behind you. Nice deep hip crease, lift and lower. And then we're going to draw a rainbow up and back. Touch the spot in the back. Up and forward, touch the spot in the front. Touch the spot in the back. Touch the spot in the front. Everything else is super still. Feel free to stabilize with your other hand. It can be kind of tough to stay still here. Yep. 2 more. And then just a little bit more here. You're going to bend your knee and hover. We're going to draw circles in space. 6, 5. Everything else is still. 4, 3, 2. Change direction. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Relax down. Flip onto your back. Grab onto the back of your head. You're going to curl up. Look over the horizon. Bring one leg and then the other up. You can take a slight bend. They don't need to be perfectly straight. You're going to lower 2, 3. Exhale, bring it up 2, 3. Shoulder blades are heavy. Even if you take a bent leg, I just want your heels to stay connected so you have this sensation of your whole bottom half moving together. See if you can kind of rock your rib cage forward a little bit more without straining your neck and head, just resting in your hands. We've got 4, 3, 2. We're almost there in terms of the ab series. I want you to go to crisscross now. Rotate towards armpit to one knee. Other leg is straight. Rotate through the ribs and switch. And switch. Long breath and switch. Keep going nice and smooth. We're not rocking the boat here. Really controlled from your middle. Wringing yourself out like a human dish rag. Good. Rest your head down and bring your knees in. Grab on. Roll all the way up. Swing the legs to the other side. And we've got hip things to do over here. You're going to rest on your arm any way that you like. Bottom knee is bent. Hold on to the top hip. Push away to get that nice long side body. Here we go. Lift and lower the leg. Good. Bring it back 45 degrees. Rotate the knee and toes down. Lift and lower. Good. Forward 45 degrees. Rotate knee and toes down. Lift and lower. Remember to keep your tush reaching back. Nice deep hip crease. Connect those 2 points. Here we go. Up and to the back. Rainbow up into the front. Rainbow up into the back. Torso is still. Feel free to stabilize with the opposite hand. Up into the front. We're almost there. Last one. And then you're going to bend the knee over the other knee. Hold it in space. We circle for 1, 2, 3, 4. I know, burn, baby, burn. Second side's always the hardest. Other way, you don't realize that you're kind of pushing down with the other leg on the floor. Good job, you guys. Good, and rest. Flip onto the tummy. Take a second to rock your hips side to side, just reorienting your hips to a new place. Okay. I want you to reach your right leg so long that it kind of hovers and then let it relax. Reach your left leg so long that it kind of hovers and then relax. We're going to go into mini swan. Stack your palms, forehead down, and just nudge your nose forward to rock up into a lift with the hands attached to the head and then down. So your whole bottom half is heavy. Sometimes this is hard. It's like the body wants to lift everything in the back at the same time. But we're trying to isolate the upper back muscles and a little bit of your core here for support. Feel free to stay with that. Or you're going to walk your hands down towards your shoulders. You're going to lift as high as you can without using your arms, and then bring them in. Pull yourself to full swan, to the tail, or to the pubic bone rather, so we're not getting stuck in the low back. All the way down. Use the strength of your arms however much you need. We really want to keep the bottom half relaxed. This is just another way to experience some spinal mobilization, as well as, a nice stretch of the superficial abdominal muscles that we just worked a bunch in a sneaky way. Good, last one. Good. Down. All right. Can't let you get out of here without giving you a nice opening of the hips that we just did all that stuff for. So just flip over onto your back. And let's just take the left leg, cross it over the right like you're in a cocktail dress here. And you're going to allow yourself to twist towards the posters. So you're coming to a nice corkscrew position. If that's not enough, you can adjust your supporting leg and it'll come into a more intense stretch if you bring it closer. Hopefully everyone has found something that feels meaningful. Okay. Deep breaths into that twist. I just have this personal theory that I have no evidence for, that when it comes to low back discomfort, there's something super magical about rotation. I try to incorporate as much rotating as possible. But in my own body, I just find, I don't know, just unlocks a whole bunch of shit. Uncross your knees. Swish, swish if you need to, just to kind of come out of that deep twist. And then we're going to cross the right leg over the left. Come into your deep twist the other direction. Right across the body. Good. And again, you can adjust that supporting leg closer to you or farther away. Try to let gravity take it though. Try not to fight it. Sending your air on the inhale into any place that just feels resistant to stretching here. And then we're going to uncross again. Take that swish, swish, just to kind of settle the body back down into equilibrium. We're going to rock up and finish with our usual runner's lunge stretch. So you'll put one knee down and feel free to roll your mat up or put a sponge underneath, and the other knee will come forward. And then you're going to want to tip your tailbone, so tuck underneath you. and lean. Hopefully that feels a little opening in your hip. If it feels meaningful, you'll add the arms. And if it feels meaningful even more, then you can tip to the knee, but that just depends on your body here. Want to really open up. We spend so much of our life in a seat. Just was not meant to be that way. So we like to spend a lot of extra time in a hip opener here. Coming back to your center, we'll switch sides. Again, finding that important tuck of the tail underneath you, that leaning forward. Breathing deep. Add the arms if it feels good. Add a tilt if it feels good. Whew. Good. And then you come down to either knees or a seated position. Just something that you can settle in. And we're going to do our usual visualization exercise. We're going to roll the shoulders up and exhale them down the back. I like to imagine I'm standing in this like rushing river, and whatever crap from the week that I don't want to bring with me, I'm packing up into my suitcases, super heavy. I pull it up towards my ears, really clenching everything, fingertips all the way up to neck. And then the river is rushing behind me, and I just drop them off. They are gone. They are gone. My load is lighter. And then with the space I made, I'm going to pull in all that gratitude, positive energy for investing in me, in my own body, and your body this morning, because you're worthy of that. Exhaling out anything you don't want to take.